Alright, I would like you to go to page 21 in your interactive notebook. We're going to go back and work on some of the science and engineering practices and cross-curricular concepts that we did not do earlier. So please go to page 21. On page 21, I want for you to write that. Once you have that written, I want you to go to Google Classroom. I want you to click on the Google Sheet Practice lesson, the Google Spreadsheet lesson. And this spreadsheet will come up. Spreadsheets are a wonderful way to organize and represent data. And today I'm going to teach you a little bit about how to do that, and then I'm going to let you work on it by yourself for a little while. So the first thing we want to do is we are going to look at the numbers of MRSA in the United States over several years. We're going to follow that trend to see what happens. So the first thing we're going to do is put a heading. So USA, because that is the country. And then over here we're going to do the years. So 2000, 2001. And now let me show you a really easy way to put numbers in sequence without having to type them individually. So if you highlight this cell, each one of these little squares or rectangles is a cell. So highlight this cell, and then you can take this little square and you can pull it down, and it will put the numbers in for you. Now, we're going to go ahead and put the percent of resistant MRSA found in the United States each year. So 40%, 42, 48, 49, 51, 53, 55, 54, 53, 52, 52, 50, 51, 53, 50, and 52. Once you have that data put into your spreadsheet, we're going to go ahead and graph it. And this is how you graph it. You select the data like this. And you go Insert, Chart, and there's your graph. However, it doesn't have the correct headings. So we want to go over here to Customize. Chart style is fine because it's a line graph. Chart and axis titles we need to fix. So the title should be percent of MRSA and then we want to go back to the horizontal axis, which is the x-axis, and we want to call that year. And then we want the vertical axis, and we want that to say percent drug resistant MRSA. And then what you want to do is go to these three dots, click on them, and you want to move to own sheet. Okay, so click over there. And that gives you your graph. Now, if you come back here and you add another country, for instance, France, and then you add their data, so 30, 31, 34, 50, 48, 47, 45, 40, 38, 38, 30, 35, 20, 15, 15, 15. Now, you want to add that data so that you can compare the number of resistant bacteria in the United States as it compares to France. Again, you highlight that area. You go Insert, Chart, and it shows you this is France and this is the United States. But again, we need to customize. Chart style is fine because we want a line graph. The vertical axis, which is the y-axis, should say % of drug resistant bacteria. The horizontal axis, which is the x-axis, should say year. The chart title should say MRSA in different countries. Oops. And then again, you can move it to its own sheet. You can see how the chart changes, and that the reason that it changes is because the lowest number on this graph is 40, but the lowest number on this one is 15. So that changes the look of the chart. Now, if you go back to sheet 1, there's a couple of things I want to show you here. Let's say that you wanted to look for specific data. A really good way to do that is to highlight the headings and click this button here, which is a filter button. It's a funnel is what it's supposed to look like. So what you can do is you can say, okay, well, I just want to look, or I want to look at the numbers that are 50 or higher. So you click OK, and then it shows you the year where the percent of MRSA was 50 or higher for the United States. And then if you want to see them all again, you can click Select All. Or if you wanted to sort the data from the least amount of resistance to the greatest amount of resistance, you can sort it A to Z, and that'll sort it from the least amount to the most. If you wanted it from the most to the least, you could sort it Z to A. Sort it by year. You also can sort by condition. Like if it's empty, or say if you just wanted to find, like, okay, what year was it? 48. So exactly 48. And then you click OK, and it shows you just that year. And then again, you can clear. Select all, and then you'll be able to see them all. So that is a very helpful tool. Or if you got the data and it was all scrambled by year and you wanted to organize it, you could do that, sort A to Z. So that is a very helpful tool. If you want to get rid of the filter, you just click off of it. Now let's say that you wanted to see what the average number of drug-resistant MRSA were. You could highlight this column, go over here, and click Average, and it will give you the average. So the average is 50 0.31. Let's say you wanted to just find the sum. This sum, you can click there and find the sum. So then this number is the sum, this number is the average. And then if you want to delete the whole row, you can highlight it and delete the row. Now what I want you to do is I have given you data on 3 more countries. I want you to add that data to this spreadsheet, and I want you to add another graph at the end for all of the countries combined. Then what I want you to do is I want you to rename the charts. So if you click on the chart, if you click on this arrow, if you right click on the arrow, it will say rename. So you're going to put US and France. On this chart, which is just the United States, you're going to rename it US. So your last chart that you are going to make yourself from the data that I'm going to give you on your handout, the last chart should be called All Countries. All Countries.